Namaste and hello everyone. Welcome to today's practice. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a chakra flow. So if you can just have with you a brick and a strap. You might not need them, but it's always good to have those there. And if you know that you have really tight hamstrings, then you might even want 2 bricks. And you can just have them towards the front of your mat. And then come find a comfortable seated position. Nice idea when you sit cross-legged, you have a little look down, and it's nice to have your knees lower than your hips, or at least parallel with your hips. If you find that when you sit, your knees stick up like this, so the knees are now higher than the hips, then a way to solve that is to elevate your sit bones. Grab a cushion or a brick or a block, get it under the sit bones, and then allow the knees to lower a bit. And this just keeps your pelvis in a more neutral position, means you can sit for longer before it starts to become uncomfortable. Let your hands rest on your knees or thighs. Allow the sit bones to ground into the brick or the cushion, and allow the crown of your head to rise up towards the sky above. If it's comfortable for you, allow the eyes to gently close and start to bring your awareness within. Take a long and slow inhale through the nose. Feel your belly and your chest expand. And then mouth open to exhale on a whispered ha sound. Even longer, deeper inhale. Feel every cell in your body expand as you inhale through the nose. Mouth open to exhale. Last time, take the deepest inhale you've ever taken in your life. And at the top of this breath, pause and hold your breath in. Now inhale a little more. Hold the breath and allow your awareness to move into the space beyond thought. And then with a smile, mouth open and exhale. Allow the mouth to close and allow your breath to return to a natural rhythm. Remaining with the eyes closed. One of the oldest statements that we have written down defining what yoga is. In Sanskrit, it reads, Yogas chittavritti nirodha. And it translates as yoga is the state in which the mental, emotional fluctuations have become still. Yoga is the state in which the mental, emotional fluctuations have become still. So, that's all we're really doing here today. We are stilling the mental, emotional fluctuations. And where do these fluctuations happen? Well, they happen mainly in the mind. So we're simply stilling the mind. We're bringing a little bit more peace, bringing a little bit more of a peaceful flow of thought. And as the mind starts to quieten, we start to rediscover our true nature. And our true nature is blissful, joyful, playful, and fearless. That's the real you. Blissful, joyful, playful, and fearless. And everything else we experience, that comes from the defenses and the armor and the conditioning and the behavioral programming that we've received and implemented over the years as a way of dealing with the outside world. But as we start to strip away these layers, we start to quieten the mind, and we start to rediscover our true nature, and our true nature is blissful, joyful, playful, and fearless. So bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer gesture at your heart center. And we'll open with one unifying Om together here. So inhale together. Gently release the hands down to the knees or thighs. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now keep the mouth open and inhale through the mouth, make the same sound. And exhale. And inhale. Top of the breath, close the mouth, exhale through the nose, but make the same sound. Inhale through the nose and make the same sound. And this kind of breathing is known as Ujjayi breath, so you're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, keeping this soft whispering sound that comes from your throat. Maintain that breath. And gently move the brick to one side, come to a cross-legged position. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, left hand comes to the floor next to you. Inhale your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach over to the left. Inhale into the right side of your chest. And exhale as you reach a little bit further. Keep the right sit bone grounded, but if you can come down to your left elbow, if that feels good, you can do that. Take a last inhale here. Exhale, right hand comes to the left knee, left hand to the floor behind you. Inhale as you sit up tall. And then exhale as you twist to look back over your left shoulder. Get taller as you inhale. Twist deeper as you exhale. Now on your next inhale, come back to center, float the left arm over the right to the opposite knee, and exhale as you fold forwards, bring your forehead towards the floor. Draw the navel in, keep the navel in as you inhale, sit up tall, breathe into your rib cage as you look up to the sky. And exhale, fold forwards once again. Inhale, sit up tall, look up, and this time lift your crossed arms up. And if you can, double wrap the hands. So keep the left elbow over the right bicep and double wrap the hands. If you can't do this, rest the backs of the hands against each other. Lift the elbows as high as the shoulders, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, draw the navel in. Keep the navel drawn in as you inhale, lifting, sitting up tall, lifting elbow, heart, and eyes. Exhale, fold forwards, and at the end of this breath, you can release the arms. And as you inhale, sweep them out to the sides, all the way up to the sky above, looking up towards your thumbs. We'll do a lion's breath to come down, to bring your tongue onto your chin, look up to your third eye, and release all of your stress through the mouth. I know it looks a bit silly, but it works. Inhale the arms up overhead, look up to third eye, stick your tongue out, and good. Keep the hands on the floor. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, relax the heart. And we're going to do a very ancient yogic technique. This one is known as the Britney Spears, and we'll just switch the cross of the legs. So Britney Spears asana. Used to be called Jane Fonda asana, but now too many students don't know who Jane Fonda is, so I changed it. Bring your right hand to the floor next to you. Inhale your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach over towards the right. Inhale, breathe into the left side of your ribcage. Exhale, reach a bit further, keeping the left sit bone grounded on the floor. Take a last inhale here. Exhale, left hand comes to right knee, right hand comes to the floor behind you. Inhale to sit up tall. Exhale, twist to look back over your right shoulder. Inhale to sit up a bit taller. Twist deeper as you exhale. Next inhale, come back to center. Keep the hand on the knee. Float the right arm over the top to the opposite knee. And exhale as you fold forwards. Draw the navel in. Keep the navel drawn in. Inhale, sit up tall. Look up. Exhale, fold forwards once again. Inhale, sit up tall, and this time lift your crossed arms up. Keep the right elbow over the left bicep. Double wrap the hands, lift the elbows to the sky. Exhale, fold forwards, draw the navel in. As you inhale, breathe into your rib cage and chest. Lift the elbows, lift the eyes. Exhale, fold forwards, and at the end of this breath, you can release the arms. Reach the arms out to the side. Inhale, arms up overhead, looking up towards your thumbs. Lion's breath to come down. Inhale, arms up. Lion's breath. Keep the hands on the floor. Inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, bring the hands to the floor in front of you and transition to an all-fours position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and just start to move your spine around in any way that you like. You can make wave-like motions, you can move up and down, you can move side to side, you can roll the barrel of your chest. Whatever feels good. Actively look for something that feels good. If you find something that feels really good, then do that more. And feel free to explore. You don't have to stay in hands and knees if you want to come forwards as a sort of back bend, or if you want to push back to child's pose. Feel very free, feel welcome. If you want to lift up a limb or two, you can do that. Just whatever it is that your body feels like it wants to do right now in this moment. And over the course of the next 20 seconds or so, come to find your way towards being on the hands and feet. You can still have some gentle movement, but now the knees are off the mat. And bring your feet hip distance apart. So there's a nice gap between the feet, and you can start to bend your knees and push the floor away with your hands. So you get a nice long spine, and really bend your knees so you can feel your belly touching your upper thighs. That's how bent they are. And notice that when you do this pose with bent knees like this, you've got a nice long spine. That long feeling in your spine is what you're looking for when you do down dog in a few minutes' time. For now, lower your knees back down to the mat. Come to a child's pose. Rest for a few breaths. Just check that you still have your Ujjayi breath working here. And please feel free to come down to this rest posture or any other rest posture you like at any point during today's practice.
If this pose doesn't work for you, I suggest lying on your back instead and hug your knees in. It's the same pose, just flipped onto your back. From here, reach your palms out in front of you and press them down into the mat. Tuck the toes under your feet and come up back to this bent knee version of downward facing dog that we were doing before. So it's a pose I like to call downward frog. It's a bit like downward dog, you just have the knees really, really bent. Notice the length in the spine and maintain that feeling of length as you start to slowly straighten the legs out. And you don't have to straighten them the whole way. If you feel like your back starts to curve or hump or hunch, then just bend them a touch again and find this nice long feeling. Take an exhale here. Inhale, come forwards to plank pose, shoulders come over the wrists. And exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. One last time, take the full length of your inhale to arrive in plank. And then stay as a plank. But lower your hips towards the floor until your knees touch. Once your knees are down, point your toes up towards the sky. And keeping your body like a plank, you're going to lower down by bending the elbows, and every part of your body will touch simultaneously. Thighs, hips, chin, heart, all touching at the same time. Tops of the feet come down, point the toes to the back of the room. Take a Sphinx pose, forearms down. Lift up. Slightly press down through the hands. Draw the hands back towards the body. Draw your heart forwards towards the front of the room. Exhale, release. Come back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here in down dog. Good, let's move one more time like this. Inhale forwards to plank pose. Keep the body long and straight, but lower your hips to the floor until the knees touch. Point your toes to the sky. Take another inhale here. And exhale, bend your elbows. Elbows stay close to the ribs as you lie down flat. Tops of the feet come down. And this time, point your fingers to the back wall, palms facing down. As you inhale, lift up arms, legs, and heart to locust pose. And exhale, release down, hands to the mat, coming up and back to downward facing dog. In your down dog, lift up all 10 toes. And as you do so, feel how the tops of your feet and the front of your legs switch on. Feel that engagement there and keep that. And at the same time as doing this, press the balls of your feet down into the mat and create the action of dragging your feet towards the back of the room. Now feel how the backs of your legs have switched on. Keep that co-activation of the front and backs of the legs as you relax the toes down to the earth. Good. Bend your knees, look forwards, and then gently walk the feet forwards towards your hands. Find yourself in a rag doll at the front of your mat. Feet can be hip distance apart. Knees can be bent or straight as you wish. And take hold of your opposite forearm or elbow. Have a gentle hangout here, perhaps rocking from side to side as if you're trying to look behind your heels. And then bring your hands down to the floor. If you have any problems with your back, then please come up with a long spine. And otherwise, you can bend your knees, gently roll your way up to standing, keeping your chin on your chest. So your head will be the last thing to come up. And once your head is up, float the arms up overhead. And a slow clearing motion as you draw the palms down the center line of the body, palms facing down, clearing out
any resistance, any negativity, clearing out anything that does not serve you in this moment. Good. Finding your Tadasana at the front of your mat. Up to you if your big toes are touching or if your feet are hip distance apart. Lift all 10 toes, spread them wide, place them back down on the mat. Hands to hips for a moment. You can maybe rock your pelvis backwards and forwards until you find that neutral sweet spot. Crown of the head rising up towards the sky above. Palms facing forwards, energy running from your shoulders down to your fingertips. Take a moment to check in with your Ujjayi breath. And we'll move into some half Sun Salutations and then Sun Salutations. So take an exhale here. Inhale, arms up overhead, looking up towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hands down to the mat. Bring your hands to your shins, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine, feel your back muscles working, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, arms up overhead, looking to your thumbs. Exhale, release the arms alongside you. Same again, inhale the arms up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift to inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms alongside you. This time, lunging Sun Salutations with Locust Pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Plant the palms, step the left foot back, bring the left knee onto the mat. Exhale. Inhale the arms up, Anjali. Exhale, hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards to plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, bend the elbows to lie flat. Locust pose as you inhale. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Pause in down dog and take an inhale. Exhale the left foot between the hands, let the back knee come down. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to the front, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms alongside the body. Second side, inhale the arms up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, right foot back, right knee to the mat. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, both hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards, plank pose. Exhale to lie down flat. Locust pose as you inhale. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take one inhale in your down dog. Exhale the right foot forwards between the hands, back knee comes down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands down, step to the front of your mat.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms up overhead.
Exhale, release the arms alongside your body. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor.
Halfway lift as you inhale.
And this time, plant the palms and step both feet back to downward facing dog.
Inhale forwards to plank pose. As you exhale, you can either lower down the way we have been or take chaturanga, half press up, not dropping any lower than your elbows. Inhale forwards and up, either cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here in your down dog. Engage your thighs so your kneecaps are lifting up. And press the floor away with your hands. So you're not leaning on your arms, but you're reaching through the shoulders and actively pushing the floor away. Nice and slow, like you're moving through honey. Inhale the left leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bring your knee and nose closer together and glide forwards towards plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee and nose closer together. Inhale, up and back. Last time, exhale, knee and nose close together, come to plank. Take a couple of breaths here. See if you can touch your knee to your nose. See if you can bring your shoulders over your wrists. And see if you can take the frown off your face. And now, without kicking back, step the left foot forwards between the hands and let your back knee come down. Inhale the arms up, Anjali, and pause here for a couple of breaths. If you're feeling off balance, you can step your front foot over to the left side of your mat. And if you feel like there's tightness in the shoulders and this pose is not working for you, feel free to take cactus arms instead, where the palms of the hands still face each other. Take a last inhale here. And then as you exhale, let your right arm come in front of you and your left arm come behind you, so you come to a twist, and turn your heart to face the long side of the mat. Take a couple of breaths here, get taller on each inhale, twist deeper on each exhale. And then tuck the toes of your back foot under the foot, and as you inhale, stand up and lift both arms up towards the sky for Crescent Lunge. So just take a moment here, bring your hands to your hips, and in this Crescent Lunge, bend your back knee. With your fingers on the hip points here, lift the front rim of your pelvis up. Keep that, and with the back foot, press down into the floor. With your right hand, touch your right glute. Create a little bit of firmness there. And as you push down with the back foot, also create the action of pulling the back foot forwards towards the front foot. Inhale the arms back up overhead. As you exhale, lean forwards, so you're reaching forwards into the space in front of you. And then on your exhale, drop down to your right, swivel on the feet, and travel the full length of your mat until you can bring both hands down to the floor, either side of your right foot, and the back knee comes down. Inhale, arms up for Anjali, second side. Again, if you're feeling off balance, step your right foot out to the right side of your mat. Front knee is over the front ankle. Take a last inhale. And as you exhale, turn to your right, so the left arm comes in front of you, right arm behind you. And turn your heart towards the long side of the mat. Reach the fingers away from each other
And on your next exhale, tuck your back toes. Inhale, lift up to Crescent Lunge. So right foot forward, left leg back. Bring your hands to the hips. Same technique again. Bend your back knee. With your fingers, lift the front rim of your pelvis up. Left hand to left glutes. Just firm up the muscle here. And then with the back foot, press down into the floor and pull forwards. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, reach forwards towards the space in front of you, nice and long from your back heel all the way to your fingertips. Take another inhale here. And as you exhale, drop down to your left. Travel the full length of the mat. So you're coming back to where you started. Both hands down. And then your choice. You can either step to Child's Pose or Down Dog. Or if you want to flow through a vinyasa, come back to plank. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, either Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, hips up and back to Downward Facing Dog. So we can all meet in Down Dog. Nice and slow, like you're moving through honey. Inhale, right leg up into the air behind you. Exhale, bring your knee and nose closer together as you come forwards to plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee and nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee towards nose and hold. Take a breath here. Look, space between the hands. Step the right foot through. Let the back knee come down. Inhale, both arms up. And now on one exhale, twist to your right. Left arm in front of you, right arm behind you. Tuck the toes of the back foot. Inhale, lift up to Crescent Lunge. Exhale, hands to hips. Now look at your front knee and bring the front knee over the front ankle. Okay, keep the front knee there. Don't let it move as you let the back foot come flat. And you're setting up for Warrior Two. Right arm in front of you, left arm behind you. So stay in the pose. I'm just going to switch sides so that you can see me clearly. Front knee is over the front ankle. Two heels in a line with the back toe slightly turned in. Lengthen your tailbone down towards the floor and draw your lower abdomen in. And as you do that, feel how the muscles of your pelvic floor lift up. This is your root lock. This is Mula Bandha. So keep that lifted as you continue to breathe into the pose. Turn your right palm up towards the sky. Inhale to reverse warrior. Front knee stays over front ankle. Mula Bandha, your root lock is still lifting here. Lift your heart up away from your pubic bone. Allow your abdomen to be long and hollow. Maintain this pose, but bring the right hand behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your heart up. And exhale, fold forwards, bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. On the inside of the front foot, lift your knuckles up and over. Breathing deeply as you surrender into this forward fold. Take a last inhale here. As you exhale, draw up on that root lock, Mula Bandha. Come back up to Warrior Two. Turn your front palm to face up. And as you inhale, bring the back arm up and over. Two palms face each other as you reach away. And as you exhale, drop down to the left, travel the full length of the mat. Bring both hands down to the floor and bring the back knee down. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Tuck the toes of your back foot. Inhale, lift up. Crescent lunge. Exhale, open out to Warrior Two. Good. Take a moment here to check in with your foundation. 2 heels in a line, back toes slightly turned in, front knee over front ankle. Lengthen your tailbone down towards the floor as you draw the lower abdomen in and feel the muscles of the pelvic floor lift. It happens automatically if you lengthen the tailbone down and draw the lower abdomen in. Lift your heart and release the muscles of your face. Turn the left palm to the sky. Inhale to reverse warrior. Take a last inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the left hand behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, fold forwards, crown of the head towards the floor on the inside of the left foot. Lift the knuckles up and over. Look towards your back foot. One last inhale here. Draw up on your root lock as you exhale. Come back up to Warrior Two. Turn your front palm up. Inhale your back arm up and over. Reach away. Exhale, drop down to the right, all the way over your right foot, and then you choose. Step back to either child's pose or down dog or flow through the vinyasa, whichever you like. And then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And then from down dog, nice and slow, like you're moving through honey. Inhale, left leg up into the air behind you. Exhale your knee to your left upper arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to left upper arm and pause, hold here. Option 1, stay where you are. Option 2, bring your right elbow underneath your right hip and lift the other foot off the floor as well for a balance. And then place the right foot down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left foot forwards between the hands, back knee comes down. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, turn to your left. Tuck your back toes. Inhale your way up to Crescent Lunge. Look to your front knee. Keep it fixed over the front ankle as you bring your back foot down. Warrior Two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten your front leg. And then bring the left hand either to rest on your left shin, or you can have the left hand on a brick on the outside of your foot. Right hand to right hip. With your right hand, guide the right hip to open up towards the sky and then stop. Whenever it stops, you stop. Don't push it any further. Then bring the palm of your right hand to your heart, rotate it up until it stops and no further, and then reach the right arm up towards the sky. Take a few breaths here in Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Spine is long, crown of the head reaching towards the front of the room, tailbone lengthening towards the back heel. And bring the right hand to the right hip, look down, bend your front knee, bring your brick about a foot's distance in front of the left foot, and make your way to half moon pose. Perhaps keep the right hand on the hip, or perhaps reach the right hand up towards the sky. Press back through the right heel. Lift your gaze up towards your top thumb. Ujjayi breathing, muscles of the face relaxed. Last inhale here, and in super slow-mo, bend your front knee, and in slow motion, make your way smoothly back to Warrior Two. See how slow you can do this. Turn the left palm up to the sky. Inhale, back arm up and over. Exhale as you drop down to the right, travel the full length of the mat, both hands either side of the right foot, back knee comes down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your right. Tuck your back toes. Inhale, lift up, Crescent Lunge. Look to your front knee. Keep the front knee fixed over the front ankle as you open out to Warrior Two. Inhale, Reverse Warrior. Stay here. Straighten your front leg. And if you need to grab your brick, you may have to just go to one side and get it there. And then keep the left hand on the hip as you bring the right hand onto the brick on the outside of the right foot. Left hand helps the hip to rotate up until it stops and no further. Left palm goes to the heart, rotate up until it stops and no further, and then reach the left arm up towards the sky. And take a last breath here. Bring the left hand back to the left hip, look down. Bend the right knee and bring your brick about a foot's distance in front of your right foot. And then from here, start to transition your weight onto your right leg, coming to half moon pose. Reaching the left hand up. Press back through the left heel. Crown of the head reaches towards the front of the room. Muscles of the face relaxed. Tailbone lengthening towards the left heel. Spine is long. And then look down and in super slow motion, bend your standing leg and see how slowly you can come back to Warrior Two. Turn your right palm up towards the sky. Inhale your back arm up and over, reach away. And exhale, drop down to the left, travel the full length of the mat. Both hands come down, and then up to you, a child's pose or down dog, or flow through a vinyasa. So tailor the practice to what you need. So we meet back in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, just one more side to do. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee to right upper arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to left upper arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Pause here. Option 1, stay where you are. Option 2, bring your left elbow beneath your body. Lift both legs up off the floor. Left foot down. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Back knee comes down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist to your right. tuck the back toes, inhale, lift up. Crescent lunge. Hands to hips, gently lower your back knee back down onto the mat. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, bring the left armpit over the right upper thigh. Make a prayer position with your hands. Push your palms together, look up over your right shoulder. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee up off the mat. Spine is long, tailbone lengthening towards the back heel, crown of the head reaching towards the front of the room. Rotating through all 7 chakras to look up over your right shoulder. Take one last inhale here. Exhale the hands either side of the front foot. Now if you have tight hamstrings, feel free to bring a brick beneath each hand. Otherwise, just keep the hands on the floor here. And straighten your front leg as you bring your forehead towards your front shin. So if your knee was on the floor, then you just need to lift the knee up and then straighten both legs, but the feet stay where they are. Take a last inhale. Exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale the arms up to crescent. Exhale, reach forwards towards the space in front of you. Pause here and inhale. Exhale, drop down to your left. Travel the full length of the mat. Both hands come to the floor either side of the left foot. Back knee comes down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Right arm forward, left arm back. Tuck the toes. Inhale, come up crescent. Exhale, hands to hips, gently lower right knee back down to the mat. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right armpit over left upper thigh. Make a prayer position with your hands. Push the palms together as you look up over your left shoulder. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, tuck the toes of your back foot and lift up. Rotate your heart to meet your thumbs and release the muscles of your face. Take a last inhale here. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot. Lift the back knee, but keep the feet where they are. Straighten left leg, folding over the left leg. Take a last inhale here. Exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale your arms up to the sky for crescent lunge. Exhale, reach forwards with the arms, get long. Take a last inhale here. Exhale, drop down to your right, travel the full length of the mat. Both hands to the floor, and then your choice of child's pose or down dog or vinyasa. And then let's meet in downward facing dog. And from here we're going to come through to a seated position, as I'm sure you'll be very happy to hear. So if you're not sure how to get to seated, bring one shin onto the mat and have it in the diagonal line, and then cross the other shin over it. And once you're here with crossed shins, you can sit back and bring the legs out in front of you. Now, if you have very tight hamstrings, you might want to sit up on a cushion or a brick. And I recommend that you sit on the front edge. This brick's a bit high for this kind of thing, but you want to sit on the front edge so that you get some tilt in your pelvis. Better to have one about half the height of this, or a cushion. Sit on the front edge of the cushion. And we're going to introduce a few chakra techniques now. And we'll start off by working on the first chakra, which is at the level of your perineum. If you don't know where your perineum is, you are sat on it. It's right in the middle of your seat. So we're going to do a pose, we'll hold it for a few minutes, and just meditate on this energy center and see what happens. So legs straight, or if you have any hamstring issues, you can have a bit of a bend in the knees there. And for this variation, have a slight gap between the feet, so the feet are not touching each other. And then inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Take hold of whatever you can reach. If you can reach your feet, that's great. But if not, you can take your shins or ankles, knees. And then once you have hold of whatever it is you're holding on to, allow your head and neck to relax. And allow your eyes to close. And bring all of your awareness to this point in the center of your seat. And as you hold this pose, you have earth energy coming up from the earth beneath you and flowing into your body directly through this energy center. The energy then flows up your spine, down your arms, back into your feet or ankles, back up your legs and back into the energy center. So you've created an energy circuit that is currently feeding and nourishing and restoring health to Muladhara chakra, your first chakra. And this energy center is related to survival. So anything to do with health, wealth, anything to do with staying in this body, anything to do with your job, your connection to your family, to your ancestors. And when it's balanced, this is when we feel safe, secure, comforted, held. We feel stable, solid, and we feel trust. And when it's out of balance, we can experience fear and greed and a lack of trust. So if you are someone who suffers from these things, if perhaps you have unexplained or irrational fear or anxiety, then it might be down to a balance at this level. And by meditating on the chakra in this way, start to bring some balance to this energy center. Start to feel more grounded, more connected, less threatened. So remain with the eyes closed and slowly come back up to sitting upright. Either rest your hands in your lap, or you can have the hands on the floor behind you and lean back on your arms. And just stay with the eyes closed for a few moments. Notice and observe how you feel. And then gently allow the eyes to open. Cross the legs and make your way to down dog in any way that you like. Either take a vinyasa or just step back to downward facing dog. So we can all meet back in downward facing dog. And from here, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forwards between the hands. Inhale, both arms up towards Crescent Lunge. And then exhale, hands to hips. So we're going to go to tree pose. There's two options here. The more gentle option is just to gently walk your back foot up and then come to tree. And if you want to do a slightly more challenging variation in one step, bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. If that's too challenging, you can also have your foot on the calf, or you can even keep the toes on the floor and turn the heel in. Find something that you can do well. So find something you can do and do it well. Feel free to take any variation of this pose that you like, with your arms, with your gaze. If you want to challenge yourself, lift your eyes to the sky. And if it's still too easy, try closing the eyes. I'm still struggling with doing eyes closed. Bring the hands back to prayer at heart center. Take an inhale here. Exhale as you start to kick back through the left foot and lean forwards, coming to warrior three. Reach back through the left heel. Keep drawing your heart forwards and slightly up. Last inhale here. As you exhale, bring both hands to the floor. Lift your left leg a little higher for standing splits. We'll only be here for a moment. From here, look at your right leg. Bend the right knee and bring the left knee behind the right knee, and then bring the left knee to the floor on the outside of the right foot. And come back and sit. So don't worry if you didn't get that. I'm going to mirror you now. So you want to be in the mirror position to this. So right foot, sole of the right foot on the floor, over the top of the knee. And make sure that both of your sit bones are grounded here. If they're not, then you can straighten the left leg out in front of you. And that will get everything nice and grounded. And then from here, remember, I'm doing the mirror action to you, so just treat me like your mirror. Bring your right hand to the floor behind you. And with the left arm, you can either hug the knee, or you can bring the elbow over the knee. Or if you're practicing with binds, you can take a bind. And then look back over your right shoulder and close your eyes. Bring your awareness to the left side of your throat. So your face is pointed back over the right shoulder, and as you twist to the right, you're opening up the left side of the energy center at the level of your throat. And this energy center is related to communication, self-expression, truth, and creativity. So if you would like to enhance any of these aspects of yourself, then doing this pose and meditating on this chakra can bring energy to this energy center and perhaps help you with your creativity or with your ability to express yourself. This chakra is known as Vishuddha chakra, and it's related to the element of space, here at the level of the throat. Remain with the eyes closed. And gently come back to face the front. Keep the eyes closed, keep your awareness on the left side of the throat, and just notice, observe how you feel. Notice the effects of meditating on this chakra in this way. Good, and then gently coming back. And keeping this shape with the legs, there's a nice little arm balance we can access from here. And so I'll show it to you in 5 stages. You don't have to go all the way through the stages. Maybe you just work on stage 1 today, and then you can look at stage 2 next week, as you wish. But I'll show you in 5 stages. So same thing with the elbow over the knee. And stage 1 is just to practice getting both hands onto the mat. So you want both hands on the mat, and you want to keep this connection of right knee on left tricep. Stage 2 is to come up onto your left knee and right foot. Stage 3 is to come up onto both feet. Stage 4 is to practice lifting one foot off the mat and then practice lifting the other foot off the mat. And stage 5 is lifting both feet and straightening the legs. And then when you come down, see if you can come down with some element of grace. Okay, so now for you. Elbow over the knee. Stage 1, both hands grounded. Have the hands shoulder distance apart, fingers spread. Stage 2, come up onto your left knee. Just practice putting some weight into the hands. Stage 3, come up onto both feet. Practice putting some weight into the hands. Stage 4, lift one foot up, then put it down and lift the other foot up. And stage 5, lifting up both feet and straighten your legs, scissor your legs apart. Breathe. Leaning into the hands, body and legs acting as counterbalances. Have a little play. Keep breathing. And when you come back down to earth, see if you can come back down gently. Good. Come back. So this is just a little bit of fun when we do these kinds of arm balances. The most important thing to remember about poses such as this is that they're not important. They don't mean anything. Being good at a yoga pose doesn't make you any more enlightened than anyone else. If that was the case, then the whole of the Russian gymnastics Olympics team would be the most enlightened people on the planet. And as far as I know, they're not. So don't worry too much about these poses. It's just a bit of fun. So let's get back into the sequence. Come forwards, hands to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forwards between the hands. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to hips. Make your way to tree pose. Step the back foot up in lots of little steps or one smooth step. Foot can either be on the floor or on the calf or on the inner upper thigh. Hands in prayer to begin with, and then take any variation you like. Press your right heel towards your left hip and your left hip towards your right heel. And as you do so, you grow tall through the crown of the head. Bring your hands back to prayer. Take an inhale. Exhale as you kick the right foot back, leaning forwards, coming to warrior 3. Lift your right leg, but lower your right hip. Draw the heart forwards and slightly up, just so that we get a bit of musculature developing on the back side of the body. And then on your next exhale, both hands down, standing splits. Put a bend in your standing leg. Bring the right knee behind the left knee. And then the right knee comes down to the outside of the left foot. and come back to sitting. So again, I'm mirroring you here. So if you've got lost, then just look at your screen and do the mirror image of what I'm doing. So your right heel is on the outside of your left hip, and the left knee is up, the left foot is on the floor on the outside of the right knee. If you can't get both sit bones down, simply straighten your right leg out in front of you. Bring the left hand to the floor behind you. With the right arm, options to hug the knee, or bring the elbow over the knee, or take the bind. Look back over your left shoulder and then close the eyes and bring your awareness to the right side of your throat. Again, we're working on self-expression, communication, truth, and creativity here at the level of the throat. And this pose sends the energy to the right side of the throat chakra. But more important than the pose is what's happening with your mind, because where the mind goes, the energy flows. So right now, you're focusing your mind on the right side of the throat, directing to the energy to that point. So stay with the eyes closed and start to release the twist. Coming back to face the front with eyes closed for an awareness phase. Notice and observe how you feel. Notice the effects of holding this pose in this way. And gently coming back. So get to explore the arm balance on this second side now. So let's do this together. Right elbow over the knee. Stage one, bring both hands to the mat and start to lean into the hands. Stage two, press up onto your right knee, but you're still leaning into the hands, so you've still kept that connection of left thigh and right tricep, sorry. Step three, come up onto both feet. Still leaning into the hands. Step four, practice lifting one leg up and then the other. And step five, lean forwards until both feet come off the floor and straighten the legs. And then coming back down to the mat gently. And remember, if you can't do that pose, what that means is you're a bad person. I'm joking, of course. So let's come back to downward facing dog. Just one more pose to go. So if you feel like taking a vinyasa, feel free if you want to get some energy moving. And then release your knees down and come to sit up on your heels. And I'll just demonstrate the last pose we'll do today. So, two options. The first option will be to do Sphinx Pose, which we've already done once today. So forearms down, elbows over, shoulders over elbows or elbows slightly forwards, eyes closed and awareness in the center of the chest. And option two will be to take Cobra Pose. And in this variation of Cobra Pose, we'll have the arms straight. You want to keep your hips, your pelvis on the floor. So if when you do this, the pelvis lifts up like this, then walk your hands forwards until you can get the pelvis down. And same thing, eyes closed, focusing on your heart center. And we'll stay here for a couple of minutes. If you feel any pain or discomfort, please come out of the pose early, and you can take a child's pose with wide knees instead. So my teacher in India says that if we hold this pose for longer than 2 minutes, we may have some spontaneous feelings of love or affection. So we'll do 2 minutes and 15 seconds and see if he's right. So coming into your variation of the pose, either Sphinx or lifting up to Cobra Pose. Eyes closed, shoulders away from the ears, awareness in the center of your chest. As you hold this pose, you have earth energy coming up from the earth beneath you, flowing up this central energy channel and arriving at your heart center. You also have energy coming from above, entering your body directly through the heart center. So you have both kinds of energy currently feeding, nourishing, and bringing back to health your ability to give and receive true love, unconditional love. Love that has no object, but is a state of being. So it's not I love you, it is I am love. So another minute here, holding the awareness in the center of the chest. If you feel any pain or discomfort, you can come out of the pose early. And very slowly, very gently start to lower yourself down. Take it nice and easy. Move slow. Rest your head on your hands. Notice the effects of the practice. Notice if perhaps the mind has quietened a little, and perhaps you're a little more tuned into the vibration of the heart. And staying with the eyes closed, nice and slowly start to shift back towards a wide-kneed child's pose. Stay observing the heart center. One of my favorite teachers was a man who never publicly said he was a yogi, but I suspect he probably was. You might have heard of him. He's called Dr. Seuss. And he has one of my favorite quotes about love. He says, "We're all a little weird. And life is a little weird. And sometimes we meet someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours. and we fall in mutual weirdness with them and call it love. Very gently make your way up to upright and then turn over to lie on your back. Have your knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And press into the soles of your feet. Lift your hips up a few centimeters and shift the hips over to the right side of the mat and place them back down. And then lift your knees up and lower the knees over to the left. Left hand can rest on the right thigh. Right arm can reach out to the side. Maybe look towards your right hand. Take a few breaths here. Take a long, slow inhale through the nose. Mouth open to exhale. And then come back to center. Soles of the feet on the mat. Press into the soles of the feet. Lift your hips up. Shift the hips over to the left side of the mat. Lift the knees and lower the knees over to the right. Right hand can rest on left thigh. Reach your left arm out to the left. Bring your gaze towards your left thumb. And take a few breaths here. Long, slow inhale through the nose. Whispered ha sound through the mouth. Then come back to lying on your back and setting up for Shavasana. So if you need to add or remove an item of clothing, feel free to do so. Allow your heels to be at least as wide as your hips, and allow your arms to be as wide as you like them to be. So they can be alongside you, or they can be out like a starfish, whatever feels good. And just start to settle. Start to let go of whatever you've been working with. Let go of any intentions. Let go of any dedications. Let go of any breathing techniques, any goals. Let go of any resistance. Allow yourself to feel supported by the earth beneath you. Allow yourself to feel supported by Ma, Mother Nature, all around you. And allow yourself to lie still. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. No one to be. You can visualize your next inhale coming up through the feet. And as you exhale, your feet become heavy. And start to sink into the earth. And the next inhale carries a wave of relaxation up into your legs, knees, thighs. And as you exhale, the legs and thighs and knees are becoming heavy and starting to sink and melt into the earth. And that wave of relaxation flows up into your pelvis, your hips, your belly, your chest, filling your entire torso. And as you exhale, the torso becomes heavy, begins to sink into the earth, begins to dissolve like sand in water. And that wave of relaxation flows up into your shoulders and arms and elbows and forearms and wrists and hands and fingers. And as you exhale, your shoulders and arms and hands all starting to dissolve and evaporate and blend into their surroundings. And that wave of relaxation flows up into the neck and head. And as you exhale, the skull begins to sink into the floor. The outlines start to dissolve. This wave of relaxation flowing through the entire body. And the entire body blending into its surroundings. No separation. Only one. with the eyes closed. Begin to bring some life back to your fingers and toes. Take a few deep breaths. And perhaps rock your head from side to side. Take a stretch up overhead so you're stretching from fingertips to toe tips. And then rolling over onto your right hand side, using your right arm as a pillow for your head. Pause for a few moments, allowing the awareness to return. Left hand to the floor in front of the heart. And if you can, remain with the eyes closed as you help yourself up to a comfortable upright pose, either kneeling or cross-legged. Hands resting on knees or thighs, eyes closed, awareness within. Notice and observe the effects of today's practice. Notice if perhaps you feel a little lighter, a little clearer. Perhaps it's a little easier to be instead of do. Perhaps it's a little easier to feel instead of think. Perhaps the mental, emotional fluctuations have quietened a little. And it's a little easier to tune into your true nature. And your true nature is blissful, joyful, playful, and fearless. That's the real you. And as our friend Dr. Seuss says, today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center, and we'll close today with one unifying Om. So inhale together here. Lifting prayer to third eye. And then folding forwards, palms of the hands, forehead to the floor, taking a moment to give thanks to Ma, the feminine principle that sustains us and gives us life. Sitting up once again, prayer to third eye and down to the chest as we bring the mind to the heart and aspire to lift the heart to the mind. In your own time, you can release the hands back down to the knees or thighs. And when you're ready, with the gaze lowered, allow your eyes to gently flutter open. Thank you for joining me today.